Our life. There we go. On the podcast today, if you didn't hate us before, you should probably hate us now because we have wrestling royalty on today. The one, the only, California's finest. Okay. By the way, we had a lot of California girls on it. But anyhow, in the Final X. But we got the best. We got Forrest, Molanari. I don't know why. What's up with Snowflake? What did that start with?
That's an old nickname from high school, actually. People have been wondering about that. Like, it just came out of nowhere. But me and my little buddies in high school came up with it, and we thought it was funny. You know, it was a little joke. And then I put it on my social media way back when I was like 15, 16 years old. And I just left it on there for years. And then before Final X last year, the Flow guys started saying it was Snowflake season. Like, it was my time to finally make the senior world team. And then it just took off from there.
You know what kind of bugs me with that? Like, okay, obviously you got a nickname. You got something you can market with, right?
Right.
How shitty is wrestling that, like, when you come out for Final X, they don't have, like, a snow machine or fog or, like, something that, like, emulates that. You know what I mean? Like, they should be running with that. The Ice Queen, the Snowflake herself, like, just boom, you know?
That's
just like frozen, like.
That's
like
a really good idea. I wish.
I'll tell you what. If I do a Somar shootout and you come, I will make that happen.
Dude, I was just thinking, actually, like with Olympic trials, I wish they were at Carver again because I would 100% get like a snow machine and let it like just make it snow the whole time when I walk out of the tunnel. How cool would that be? All right, if I come out and wrestle in that, you got to get a snow machine.
Dude, it's on. I'm going to do it. Josh, you know I will too because I'm stupid and I'll spend dumb money on stupider things than that. I'll tell you right now.
I'll buy it off of you after.
She's just there with snow cones after. Come on, guys. Ravo spent the money. Just snow cones for everybody. Oh, how great would that be? She wrestles, kicks butt, and then you're outside. You go to the concession stand, and Forrest is there making snow cones. World team members just like, what flavor you want? My Mexican cousin's all upset. He's taking her business. Oh, gosh. It'd be terrible. Anyhow, how are you?
I'm awesome, dude. Just getting ready for Worlds. It's been really good lately.
Oh, man. So Josh asked the question earlier, which I don't like it, but being that the rest of the team was off across. Where was she at? Where were they at, Josh?
They were in Japan after Dogu, I think. You were the only one that went to Dogu, though, right?
Yeah, I was the only female that went. Just because Terry Steiner wanted to only send people whose ranking it could affect. So a couple of our girls were already locked in for number one anyways. So I was just the only girl who happened to need to go just to solidify my ranking for the 2 spot. And I wanted it to be my last tournament before Worlds, just, you know, getting ready to go. So I went, and then we had a national team camp. They left like 3 days after I got back from Dogu to go to Japan. So it was better for me to not go to Japan and just like actually get to take a week off of the mat, because that was my first week off all year. I haven't taken any time off yet, you know. So it was good to get a week off and just kind of recoup the body and get ready to go, you know, get amped up for Worlds.
Man, so then I take it you don't believe in burnout.
For me, no. I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You hear that all the time, right? I'm burned out.
Even after a 3-month high school season, you're not completely burnt out.
A 3-month high school season. Our season's like literally 9 months long. Like my first competition was Uregan in January. You know, like it's nonstop. You gotta eat, live, breathe wrestling.
Hear that, ladies? No more complaining about I'm burnt out after and some of those girls too, like take half the season off. It's ridiculous. Like, what?
Yeah.
How you burned out already? That's insane.
Holden always like kind of boasts about this, but he's like, I can count the number of practice Forrest missed in her entire high school career on one hand. I never missed practice. You know what I mean? But like, look where that's gotten me. Like, you gotta have that mindset.
Yeah, even if it's senior ditch day, she's like, I sneaking onto campus.
Like cool, but I'll be at practice.
Not that any of us are condoning it, but as a coach, not mad at it. Like I didn't even know my kids are missing school, to be honest with you, because I have my walk-on coach everywhere I'm at. So like I don't even know the kids miss. I'm just like, you're at practice? Okay, good.
You're good.
Yeah, I don't even know about anything else.
We're really just here to wrestle anyway. I mean,
it's true.
My job.
It's true.
Yeah, it's my. I mean, you're only academically eligible to wrestle, right?
Yep. As long as you're eligible, you got decent grades, you're good to go.
That's what I majored in college, was staying eligible.
Yeah, exactly.
Eligibility.
Yeah.
Eligibility through college. Oh my gosh. So
Forrest,
in college, what did you study? No, wait. What did you study in college, Forrest?
I got 2 degrees. One was business administration, and one was mathematics. And I actually finished my master's last year in October.
In mathematics or in business?
No, in coaching and athletic administration.
Oh, okay.
So I've got 3 different degrees.
AD.
maybe that'd be cool.
Could you imagine having Forrest as your AD of your school?
No. Can you imagine Forrest being the AD at Iowa? So the AD is like on the girl side, it's like wrestling, and it's for the first time like wrestling gets all the funding and all the Big Ten money.
Oh,
and basketball's like, what about us? Finally, it's like,
you guys are fine, man. You've gotten the money all these past years. We're gonna fund only wrestling this year.
Yeah, those balls never go bad. They go for years. Go ahead. I had to say basketball for my childhood. They last forever. That'd be great. Anyway, what were you saying, Josh?
No, I was asking. So where did Snowflake to My Name Is Jungle come in? Where did that transition?
Oh, that was just another joke from high school. The jungle thing is just because my name's Forrest. We thought it would be funny if I was like jungle or tree or whatever. So when I made Twitter, I put My Name Is Jungle. I don't know why. Like looking back now, like what I was thinking, but when I made my Twitter.
That's pretty much the excuse I use for everything, and I'm 40-something years old. I still use that. I don't know why I did it. I don't know what I was thinking.
As 15-year-old Forrest, I have no idea why. But I stayed on there, and I mean, people notice it. It's funny, so why not?
So I think that everybody that's alive that pays attention to wrestling should know you're part of Hawkeye Wrestling Club.
Definitely.
Explain how that's helped you jump levels and just your mindset and your training, everything that goes in it.
There's a lot of different areas that I think Hawkeye Wrestling Club has really helped me improve. I mean, the mentality, I think it's always been there for me. I've always been just gritty and tough, but it's another level here. A big one's discipline. So with me, I don't know, say cutting weight. Everyone knows I cut weight. It doesn't bother me. I'm not scared. I got to lose 20 pounds in 2 days. Sure, I got it. No problem. You know what I mean? But that's not good to do, obviously. But it doesn't scare me. And Tom and Terry are so big on being disciplined. And that's something that I've really had to work on, with weight management, with my diet. Workouts, it's not a problem. I'll keep working out till I can't walk. That's not the issue. But just other things, outside stuff. So I think discipline's been a big one, and technique. I feel like I'm really good at scrambling, but my fundamentals needed a lot of work. And this is the best program in the country, in the world, to work on fundamentals. You know what I mean? So I've seen a huge improvement there. Positioning, finishes on my shot. And that opens up my scrambling even better. So I think I've really improved in both areas. And then I just love it here, How can you not? The people here love wrestling. The community supports it so much. So, it's been awesome to be here.
So for you then, like you said, you're scrambling. When people talk about freestyle, they act as if there's no scrambling. And it's if you can freestyle scramble, your folk style scrambling is 10 times better. Would you agree?
Sure. Oh, for sure.
Because you can't expose. So if you can't, especially with the new danger rule in folk style wrestling, dude, if you can freestyle and not give up points, you can folk style. Am I wrong there?
No, I 100% agree with that. When I watch the scrambling, with folk style guys, I almost feel like it's easier because you can roll across your back. There's times I want to funk roll, but you can't. You know what I mean? You got to be able to hip pass and stuff. So people who just don't know a whole lot about freestyle or high level freestyle wrestling, don't see the scrambling that goes into it. But there's a lot. And if you're good at it, it can open up a lot of different areas for you to score and really frustrate people.
Yeah, no, I noticed that because even with my daughter, when she started wrestling at Lindenwood, she was wrestling some All-Americans and I'm oh, how's this going to go? And there was sequences of long scrambles. And I was thinking in my head, God, you really don't see that often. Actual scrambling, and over and doing things that you don't usually see. And I think that's kind of missing, I think, on the girls' side. I don't know if the coaches just feel like they don't have enough time to go over it, or they just don't know how to go over it. Where did you start working on your scrambling, per se?
I don't even know. It just kind of started to develop like, I like crotch lifting. I like sit in the corner, and I'm long for my weight class too. So it kind of gives me a leverage advantage. So if someone gets on my leg and I throw their head outside, I'm going to hit a switch in there and then hip heist. I love being on an ankle whizzer and start moving around in there. I think I'm really good there. I'm really comfortable in like a SIPO whizzer position. So I don't know, just these different areas I like to be in, and I would put people there, and that kind of started developing my scrambling. And I would like just skip any basic defense and go straight to it. You know what I mean? And Terry Steiner's like, you've got to learn how to sprawl, dude. Like, quit going straight to an ankle wizard. Like, I'm giving you the corner. You can have it. I want the ankle wizard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just like as I started to learn more about wrestling and really develop as a wrestler, that's just kind of where I naturally gravitated to. And now that I've gotten some fundamental stuff down, it really puts me a whole, step ahead in the scramble once I initiate it. And then I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to score. But for the coaching side of it, I think women just need more work on chain wrestling. I think girls, like in general, still look maybe like, all right, I'm going to shoot. She's going to sprawl. We're going to be in front headlock. I got to get up. You know what I mean? It's just very like 1, 1, 1. And I don't think of it like that. Like for me, I get in on a shot. There's 4 or 5 different ways I could finish. I can go back and forth between 2 different finishes. And that's learning how to chain wrestle. And I think girls just are kind of behind in that area.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And actually, it's going like that way on the boys' side, too, I've noticed. When you see the high-level kids in the state, they're kind of so good that they're just one shot, one takedown versus, like constantly moving along. And I know for like my club, we kind of emphasize that too. Like you got to be able to extend this. Des is really big on basic defense, head down, hands down, stretch them out. And then at last resort, if you got to scramble, go to your scramble. You know what I mean? And I think coaches are either one or the other. They're either basic defense, and if it doesn't work, belly out, or they try to go too advanced too soon, and they start trying to teach these kids all these, sit the corner kind of stuff right off the bat, so the kids don't get the whole gambit.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they have a good feel for stuff like sitting in the corner, then definitely help them develop that, because if you already have a feel for it, you're already ahead of the game. Yeah. But like for me, I'm really good in there, but what's helped me get even better is someone gets in on my leg, I'm sprawling, trying to get down, hips away. If they do build up, boom, throw the head outside, sit the corner, and I'm already way farther ahead. They're not so deep like in my hip compared if I just did it right off the shot. Yeah. So I think coaches need to realize if you have a kid who likes to scramble, like teach them like those basic fundamentals so that it does set up their scrambling better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's frustrating to your opponent too, because they got to fight through your basic defense first, and then finally when they see that light at the end of the tunnel and they get their head up and they think it's about to go down,
and you shut it down.
Then you just shut them down again, and they're like, God dang it!
And
that's what I always tell my kids.
Just like a mental game. Like if someone can't take you down, and like there's someone who shoots a lot, right, has good takedowns. Like how much does that mess with them? Like if they can't get a takedown, like that can change their whole match strategy and throw them off mid-match. And that's where you can really start opening up on someone.
Yeah, I know, I've had girls that aren't the same level as a girl, and the girls got a specific takedown, and we just shut it down. I mean, you saw it, Josh, at Freestyle State. We shut it down, and the girl just got frustrated. It just broke her, mentally, and that's got to be frustrating when you know that that's your go-to takedown, and that go-to is not going the way you want it to. Speaking of which, what's your go-to? If there's 10 seconds left on the clock, Forrest has to score. What's Forrest looking at?
It's either going to be a knee pull single or a low single. I can't pick between the two. I love both of them, and I'll go either side on both of them. So whatever is there.
So I'm going to tell you right now I'm just telling you right now, that was a test to see how Iowa you are. You failed the test. Lincoln McElravy got asked that question. He looked at the camera and said, "I have several." And he just nodded to the guys on the side.
If you think about it, I just said there's 4 different shots I could take.
That's true, yeah. Two to this side, 2 to this side. Yeah.
Then I'm confident in all 4, so I mean,
yeah. You better have 8 legs and 8
Plus-
arms to stop all of
she's
them.
got 4 different setups on that, so that really exponentially makes it like 16 different possibilities.
Oh yeah, the combinations are endless at this point.
Yeah.
I was just trying to keep a simple answer, but yeah, there's quite a bit I'm gonna hit.
I'm just messing. Oh man. Okay, so top 5 songs in Forrest's playlist while she's in the tunnel. You're in the tunnel. The match before you still going on. Top 5 songs in your playlist.
All right. Well, of course, it's going to be my walkout song, "Public Service Announcement" by Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest are probably going to be Eminem. Honestly, like I listen to Eminem constantly, and I like his older stuff better. So
what are you looking at?
Let me just pull up my most played songs for you. We'll make it easy. Lose Yourself, Berserk, The Real Slim Shady, Rap God. I think I'm already at 5, but
there you go. Yeah.
We'll go. But yeah, I mean, I just listen to. I got one more.
Yeah, go ahead. Give one more. Why not?
Till I collapse.
For those little girls out there that are just little Forrests in the future coming up, you know, they got to make sure that they emulate you in every way. They got to have those top 5. So now they know they got it all listed out now.
Gotta go listen to Eminem. He's the OG.
Nice. So, when it comes to training at Hawkeye Wrestling Club, what is it? Just the quality of the coaches? Is it? Well, give me like the number one thing you think really makes the difference. Is it the atmosphere in terms of like in the room, like just everybody having them all on the same page with the same mindset? Is it just having close friends that you train with, like, you know, Allie and the girls that you bring in? Like, what is it exactly? If you had to put your finger on it, like this right here is really what made the difference.
Like for me personally?
Yeah, just you personally.
I'm gonna have to say probably the environment, but that comes from, you know, the coaches. It comes from my teammates. It comes from the college team, from the other HWC guys. You know, the people there. I shouldn't say environment. I should say people. The people there have, I think, what really made the difference. You know, you could have the best facilities in the world, or you could have the absolute worst and still be a champion either way, but it's the people that are around you, you know, that really make or break you, I think.
All right. What's one thing out of the room that you've learned at the Hawkeye Wrestling Club? You've been like, like it just like resonated with you, like, and it's made a difference either in your weight cutting or your mental side of things or whatever, just something that's just like clicked, like you just were like, yes, this is useful to me.
I mean, obviously the diet, like I'm just getting better and better about what I need to fuel myself and feel good and keep my weight down. But something that's kind of interesting, and I just started doing it when I moved to Iowa, is this is going to sound funny, but I tell myself to be a gangster before I go wrestle. Like a gangster is someone who's hard, who doesn't let up, who's going to get the job done, regardless of how it's going to get done. Like they have no mercy. So I didn't do that until I got to Iowa and I started like figuring out like how my mindset works and what I need to hear and things like that. So like I tell myself, go be a gangster before every match.
Now, Forrest, does this have anything to do with Michaela Beck also being there? Because she's a gangster.
No, I mean, me and Michaela are very similar in how we think. Michaela's Instagram story is a little more like really shows you how she is. Yeah. She's hilarious. But no, I just like talking to Perry just about like mindset stuff and how like, I don't know, how I respond to things. Like I just started kind of saying it to myself when it's like, this was, I think, the turning point when I started realizing like that's what I need to tell myself. Is I was talking to Perry and like, he's like, you know what, regardless of what happened before, when the lights were bright, I showed up. And he did. And I feel like that's being a gangster, like out on the mat. Like, you know what I mean? You could, regardless of your lifestyle, regardless of how you train, of how the other girl trained, like whatever it is, like if you show up when it counts, you're a gangster. And I told myself, like, I want to show up when the lights are bright. and not get nerves, not, feel this way or that way. Like, I show up when it counts. And I think I've started to do that more this year. And that's just all mindset, And so told myself to be a gangster. And I think that's helped a lot, actually.
That's funny because Des tells our last year's heavyweight, who's a first year wrestler, she made kind of a run at the end of the season, and she would tell her, "Go be a chola,"
Yeah.
Go be chola. Like, she'd go out there, and she's first year wrestler. She's only weighing 205. She does these girls,
those big girls, yeah,
20, 30 pounds heavier than her, and she's like, you've seen her, Josh, just like a kind of a thin girl, but she's like 6 feet tall. And she just gets the skates on and she goes out there and just snap double. And they weren't ready for a heavyweight to be doubling, but she'd go out there and just get chola on them. So that's funny. That's funny. So Iowa City compared to Cali.
Ooh, big difference. Big difference.
Yeah. Give it to it.
I mean, the biggest thing I've noticed, obviously, like, the lifestyle is different. California vibe is completely different than living in the Midwest. But
no Mexican food?
I've seen one Mexican restaurant. I haven't tried it yet. I'm a little nervous, too, just because I have high standards for Mexican food,
There we go. Yes. I tell everybody I have a taco in every city my clubs goes to, and every city I travel to do a tournament. I have Mexican food everywhere, so I can officially say we have the best Mexican food in California.
How can we not, though? For real. So I don't like eating Mexican food other places unless I'm home. Like, I feel like it's just not going to live up to the hype, so I just don't even want to. I don't want to bother with it. But the biggest thing I've noticed is just living in a community that loves wrestling so much. Like, California's not really like that. Like, maybe like Mid-Cal a little bit, but like, these people live and die for wrestling. Like, they love wrestling as much as they love the football team. There was like 12,000 people for the Iowa and Iowa State duel. Like, that's amazing. 12,000 people came to watch this one duel meet. Like, when I was in high school, we were lucky if our parents came to watch the duel.
He has 12 people against the rival, huh?
Yeah, like, we didn't even set up chairs for people to come watch, So that just the support and how much they've embraced us girls and how much they're keeping up with us and they love us and they want to see more content with us and they're just very, very supportive. I think it's so cool to live in a community that loves wrestling like that. And and you see it when I win matches and stuff. I'm like pounding my chest, like I got the HWC on my singlet. That's repping where I train, and I take pride in that.
Yeah, no, that's super important, right? Because I feel like too, the most successful programs are the ones where the entire team is bought in. You have to be vested. It has to mean something to you. Otherwise, you're not going to get that success. You could talk about all you want, do all the training you want, but if the team isn't bought into the coach and the philosophy, you're really just spinning your wheels, right?
Yeah, 100%. Look at the coaching staff we have. Tom and Terry Brands, Mark Perry, Ryan Morningstar, Bobby Telford. Like, we have an amazing coaching staff. Like, how can you not be bought into this program? Like, they've had success. They know what it takes. They live and breathe this every day. Tom and Terry have been doing this for how many years, and they still come into practice every day, like, ready to go. I've never seen them walk in, like, shuffling around. They're always aware, always ready to roll. So, how can you not, be ready to go when your coaches are that excited for practice? They're not even competing anymore, but they're that ready. So, it's awesome,
Oh, no, for sure. It's got to. How do you not get motivated, right? When the chief is ready to go, how are you not motivated?
Exactly.
So, Josh, your next question, because I keep talking.
Inside the room, how does it work? I've heard that everybody's on board with the girls, like Tom, Terry, Perry, everybody is completely on board. How does it work? Are you guys your own separate practice? Are you exactly with the boys? Or
yeah, we're treated no different than the HWC guys. There's 4 girls and 5 guys right now, and we're treated no different. Right now, we're kind of we're going to be doing a little bit more of our own practices just because we're peaking, getting ready for Worlds. And this is the guys' downtime, especially the college team. But during the college season, we all practice together in the afternoons. In the mornings, some days we'll do technique and it'll be just the freestyle guys. But otherwise in the afternoons, team practice with everybody. And I mean, I like it like that. I mean, sometimes they do a little more folk style top bottom stuff, and we'll do more of what we need work on, but it's still going through the team practice with them. Like the energy in the room and how hard everyone's working makes you work harder. It's different than going through a practice by yourself. So we all wrestle together for a good majority of it.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. Cause I'd heard that. I just wanted to confirm with you that that's the way it was. And
yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, everybody's on board.
And the guys are super cool too. I mean, even this week while the girls are gone, Gavin Teasdale rolled with me a couple days, and Terry put us through practice, and I worked out with Spencer on a Friday morning.
So I was going to ask you that next. Like I saw, I think, a tweet from Spencer saying he rolled with, I get much than you. And like, there's no doubt she's ready to go win the Worlds.
Yeah. I mean, me and Spencer haven't rolled before. But he's like, hey, if you need someone, like, I'm more than happy to. And they're in their downtime anyways. Like, I'm not going to ask him during season, of course. But, he's getting ready for his competitions. But, he had some free time, and I really appreciated it. And I got a great workout in. And, he has an awesome feel, obviously. And I was asking him a few things about how he does some scrambling situations just to get his view on it. And it was a really great practice. And I really appreciate it. And Gavin, too. Gavin's great at freestyle, so I got some awesome days in with him and Terry, just putting us through and really working on some areas to sharpen up before Worlds.
Nice.
So for you, obviously 2020 is in the plans. What do you think is going to be the toughest weight class, seeing how everybody has to kind of fill in and do stuff like that? Like,
for domestically or internationally?
Yeah, no, just domestically, just to get on the team.
I mean, obviously 50 is always tough. I mean, even just to make a world team at 50, it's tough because there's just so many, the depth is there for sure. We've got our top 4 or 5 girls are good. I think 62 is going to be a little hard. I think a lot of people that are in 59 and 65 are going to go to 62. And we're also seeing that internationally, like a lot, like that around those 2 weights where me and Allie are at, everyone's going into 62 already. Like there's been a couple girls from my weight that have dropped down, and same with Allie's weight. So I think that's just happens to be the weight class that's going to be tough.
Nice. Awesome. Let's see here. Hang on a second. I'm trying to see if anybody's asked questions yet, because everybody complains to me like, I was asking questions, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't see them. My bad. No. Okay. So let me ask you this, okay? Because I'm a drills coach. I like drilling. I like not just drilling, but like breaking down moves and putting them into drills that lead up to the move, stuff like that. What is something that what's a drill that comes to mind that you found probably the most helpful before you really start like getting into your technique, like the full move, stuff like that? Like a coach who taught you how to penetrate and he had you do this drill, or a coach who taught you how to, move your feet. He did this drill.
This is a really specific one for me. I got 2 of them actually for you. One was Perfect. I love doing that over collar tie to a slide by. I love getting on the over, and especially because I'm long, I can really wrap around someone there. And JM, the coach at Key, used to make me do cartwheels through the whole room, back down, both sides, because when you hit that slide by over top, you got to keep your legs straight. And a lot of people are going to want to squat, and it doesn't work right if you do. So you have to kind of, it like seems really backwards with wrestling and like basic fundamentals, but you have to, on that move, keep your legs straight, reach down to the leg and get their momentum coming forward. So I used to do cartwheels constantly. If you have a kid that has a good feel for that over collar tie, doing cartwheels into that shot helped me a lot. Just it's the same movement, And then another one was I've been really trying to work on footwork since I've been at Iowa, and Perry always tells me how Don Smith said he could outwork everybody with just his feet, not even putting hands on him. His footwork was that much like better than everyone, so much movement, forcing you to react. So after every practice, I do stance in motion. And not just stance in motion, like I actually visualize, like coaches say, of what I'm doing, putting my combinations together, not just one thing, which I think a lot of people do in stance in motion, and they kind of just go through it. Like, I'm really thinking, like, this is stuff that I'm going to do in a match. And I go through those combinations. Like, I fake, snap them, drop off to the ankle, you know, drive up to a single, things like that. And it's helping me pick up my footwork in matches and try to move constantly. So really, stance and motion, as basic as it is, I do it a lot.
Yeah, I usually tell my kids, like, you've been wrestling long enough too where you know how things should feel. Like, you should imagine, when you're imagining like a post on somebody, you should imagine your hand compressing when you put your hand on them. You should imagine them shooting and blocking off. You should feel that, mentally feel that pressure on your body and be able to move with it. So that way, because when I went to Cal State Fullerton, we were discussing this gymnast that was there who had major injury, was unable to compete all year, was her senior year. She wanted to do her floor routine one more time, scored a perfect 10. And she like just got cleared. And they asked her, you know, how did you do that? And she's like, well, I just mental visualization. But people don't understand that it's not just thinking it, it's thinking it with that proprioceptive skill of like knowing, like if I told you, like, Forrest, close your eyes and imagine, and this is always really vivid because I can always imagine this, hitting a low single and overshooting it, feeling that collar hit the shin bone and coming up and how their body's responding. Like, you can imagine all that pressure on the back of your neck. You know, like, just talking about it, you know, and any wrestler who's done wrestling for a while can do that, you know. And so effective visualization, I feel like, isn't described to kids enough for them to really effectively do it, and they don't understand how important it is.
Yeah, I didn't really start using it until I got to Iowa and realized how important it was. And at first, when people be like, you need to visualize, I'm like, I don't need to visualize. I need to actually do it. And then I started visualizing when I would do stance and motion. And I think it's helped quite a bit. I was naive. I didn't understand exactly yet. I was like, why do we need to visualize this so much? Like, this is wasting my time. You know what I mean? Like, I need to go hit these reps. But it's very, very useful when you learn how to use it properly.
Nice. So you went from Benicia to Mobap to King. What was really the difference that set in the day-to-day practices between Mobap and King?
The difference in the practice. I mean, the intensity was just different. I remember when I was transferring to King, like, I wanted to go there because I looked at that team and I was like, they have got the best girls. You know, they were killing everyone my freshman year of college. They had multiple national champions. I was like, if I'm going to get better, I need to be getting beat up by people. And that's how I learned how to wrestle, you know, wrestling the boys. Like, I used to get beat up every day, but I learned. And so when I was looking at the King team, I was like, they have the best girls. Like, that's where I need to be if I want to get better at wrestling. And I mean, we used to scrap in there. I mean, when I was my first year at King, we still had, you know, the Doy twins, Sarah Hildebrandt, Haley Agello, Amanda Hendy, Julia Salata, Hannah Greiswood, Lori.
It wasn't fair because you guys had like
hammers.
Hendy. Did Paige go there too?
Jen Page? No, she did that 1 year at OCU and then went to the training center.
Training center, okay. Yeah, but you guys got like just a stupid team because even before that you had like Hannah Martin. You had hammers in there.
Yeah, you guys had like the second team girls All-Americaning too.
The second what?
All the second string girls, like the, you know, they were All-Americaning.
Once they broke the lineup, they would All-American too. I mean, we were just, it was crazy, like how good we were, especially my first year there. I mean, just killed everybody.
So having JM back is going to do wonders for that program again. Like,
big time.
Don't see that. I mean, it really dropped off when he left. I mean, it really, like, you know, I mean, they kind of wrote out the residual with the Doys there and everything like that. But yeah, I think having JM back's going to definitely.
Yeah, and I know, you know, he started the women's team, and that was like his baby, that he really developed that program. So I know he's always been very passionate about it, but juggling two college teams, I mean, it's so demanding. I mean, already, like, look at how many coaches actually do both teams. There's very, very few because you just can't give all your attention to both. There's so much that goes into it. All your work is doubled. So, I mean, they have a really young group right now. It was almost all freshmen in that starting lineup, except for like maybe 2 or 3 girls. So give him some time, let him keep developing those wrestlers. They're going to be really good in the next couple of years, I think.
Yeah, I know Julia was really high on her team and how well they did last year, despite, I think all but 2 she had posted were freshmen. And it's like, man, that's
and
pretty
then a majority
scary.
of them All-American as freshmen.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
low, but maybe a low All-American, but they already got a taste of it. This is their first year in the college circuit. Like, watch what's going to happen in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And they know the wrestlers that they want too. That's the thing. Like they know the wrestlers that getting a taste of it's not going to be enough for those girls.
No.
That room is going to be right back at it again. What's the craziest thing that they had you do at King? Like when like your first week there, you're like, what? We're doing what?
Our Hell Week. So if when you go through King's Hell Week, like if you haven't gone through it before, it's really hard because you just don't know what to expect. And, it's long. My first year, it's 5 days. And, we have 6 a.m.s, we have afternoon practice, and we had to do a lift like in between. And of course, it's like a density lift, like preseason, like just trying to pack on a little muscle. I mean, shoot, our first morning at 6 a.m., we're running this hill called Mockingbird. And it's so long and so steep, you can't even see the top. And it's pitch dark outside. We're just running it for like 2 hours straight. I remember one time, we got in trouble for something, and JM sent us to Mockingbird in the middle of the season in the rain. It was freezing outside, and everyone was soaked, and we were running for so long, like on Mockingbird. There's one workout we have to do where he drops us off at the Bristol racetrack, like the NASCAR racetrack, and we have to run back to school, and it's like 8 miles or something. All of it's crazy. Once you've gone through it, honestly, it's kind of fun. Like the running sucks, but the workouts in the wrestling room, like the push-out drill, which is just like, it's kind of like sumo wrestling. Like you got to just own your circle.
Bounce them off the wall. Yep, got to bounce them off the wall.
Love that workout. It was so much fun. I wasn't even worried about getting tired. That workout was a blast. Like you could just slam people into the wall. Our grind matches were always good. My first year, you guys know Jesse Key? Me and Jesse, everyone was hyping up me and Jesse Key's grind match. We had everybody come in, like boys came in to watch our grind match. The girls that were in the same group as us were mad because they couldn't watch it. We were just like throwing elbows and going hard.
Explain the grind match, because it's like 100, right? You got to score like.
It depends. We had like 2 of them. One of them was like you got to score 100 more points than your partner. Not just 200, you have 100 more points. Like a tech ball times 10. And then the other grind match was just times, and you had to break them. Like that was the whole goal of a grind match, was to break them. And Jay like really believed like that's how you would get better, is trying to break your partner. So it could be 20 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be longer than an hour. You don't like, he tells you like when we start, but the point is to break them, and you'll either keep going at it or he'll kick them out. It's one of the two.
Yeah, I mean that honestly, just getting them to do stuff like that, and I've had discussions with parents about my approach, because it varies depending on the group of girls that I'm coaching. And like at Panorama, I had nothing but like first generation immigrant kids, and you could do that.
Yeah,
lock them in the room, boom, and being like, you're going at it, and it's just business. It's not personal, And those girls took it to heart. They just get it, And Ramos said, do it. Other schools I coach at, man, they'd have the police in there. They'd have the temperature gauge.
Yeah.
Like it's like
we have
everything.
This bench that we would make the freshmen carry to every workout we do during Hell Week. And JM doesn't call it this because I don't think he's allowed to, but the girls all call it the bitch bench. And if JM thinks that you've broken the workout, he'll put you on the bitch bench. It's like it should be like very embarrassing to be on the bench, and you should be like trying everything you can to not get put on the bench. So it's got to be funny to watch us just carry this bench around all over Bristol, Tennessee for Hell Week.
I would have a corner of the room that was just tape, and I'd make my wrestlers go in there, go in the corner, and there you go. They'd be so pissed when they're in there. When they come out, they're just fire. They don't want to be in there, It's like, oh, terrible. No, that's awesome. No, I think that stuff, I mean, I don't know. I don't consider that hazing. That's just something it's a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage is a good way to put it, and it's a motivator.
Yeah, there's got to be that negative consequence for your actions.
Yeah, not everything. hand holding. I hate when people are like that, like, oh, it's okay. Like, no, it's not okay. Like, you were slacking. You're gonna go sit on the bitch bench, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know a coach that she calls it being a little bitch syndrome. You got a little bitch syndrome, go over there. You know, and it's like, oh, it is what it is, you know. But wrestling, and this is what I tell people too, like wrestling's wrestling. Like I coach wrestling because that's what tough people do. Tough people wrestle. Like seeing these people that kind of like everybody gets a medal and you can't hurt their feelings. And it's like, that's why you're in there. Like you got to make somebody feel uncomfortable. Nobody's going to give you anything in wrestling. You got to make them feel bad.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and it's just kind of rough to kind of see that. I know I'm going to probably catch some heat for that, but yeah, I don't agree with that.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely. I don't think everyone should get a medal. I took my lumps for a long time. I had, go through the ringer and get up by the older girls. And it's just part of the sport. It's part of growing up. It's part of learning.
And how much more does that first medal mean to you when you earn it?
When you finally earned it big time. Definitely.
Yeah. Because I can't even.
Like, it should burn, too, like, when you don't get that medal. Like, people bring up, like, well, last year at Worlds, you lost for the bronze medal. Like, that still burns. Bad, too. Beck even brought it up right before I went out, I think, for my
How'd you not punch her in the throat? Like,
that's how good me and Beck's relationship is. Like, that's how good our relationship is, that she knew. She's probably the only person that could have said that to me, too. Before I went out for my third match at Final X this year, she's like, you remember how bad it hurt when you lost 1-1 on criteria for the bronze medal at your first senior world championships? You better go get it back right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's how good of our relationship is. But, it should hurt. And that's motivating. And that's how you got to be motivated in wrestling. I'm not going to hold your hand through it,
Mm-hmm. At some point, you got to grow up, pull your big pants on, and go out there and get that fight on.
Exactly.
And that's the other thing too. Sometimes you're not going to be technically better. Sometimes you just got to grit, And I think that series with you and Maya kind of, showed that too, because she's equally tough. She's not somebody who's just going to lay down. Knowing that you came in, the team member last year and almost medaled. Some people go out there and you can see they're already defeated. Having somebody tough like that, I think also like for you, kind of validates your position, like this is my spot, and claiming
Perry kept saying that because it was the same thing with like Gilman and Fix. He's like, it's number 1 versus number 2 for this spot. This is you're not going to walk in and just take it. And it doesn't matter that she's younger. She's a junior world champ. So is Fix. Me and Gilman were in the same position. Doesn't matter if you were on the team last year. They're coming in hungry to take your spot. Like, you better get ready to go. Every match.
Yeah, that's awesome. I thoroughly enjoy that. So let me ask you this. What's a subject that you're passionate about? Whether it be in wrestling or not in wrestling, just something that like you are open for debate on these things, or you just like, just sparks you, like it just lights your fire.
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know. I'll argue about anything if I don't agree with you. I don't care. Honestly. I don't know. I mean, pick something. What's something that people argue about?
I saw a topic. One of the resident athletes posted that, just how the women athletes are treated. I don't know if it's necessarily at the OTC or just in general what she was necessarily meaning. But I mean, I hear some horror stories about it, and I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of crappy that our girls have to deal with that. Whether it be people, jumping over the girls as they're trying to go live, or their practice getting interrupted, stuff like that. Like,
I do. I might know what you're talking about. So, like, there was sometimes when we're at the OTC, we have national team camp, and men's freestyle has national team camp at the same time. Like, sometimes their practice goes over, and like when our practice is supposed to start, things like that, and girls get like, pissed off about it. It's like, hey, like if we have a practice at this time, like you guys had 2 hours, we start at this time, like be respectful of that. We have national team camp, like we're trying to win world title just as well. So maybe that's what you're talking about, when the boys think they own the room, especially if it's like juniors or something. Like, get out of here! Like, you're a kid still. Like, I'm the senior world team member. I'm trying to win a national championship. I get you are too, but I'm a little bit older than you, so goodbye. Don't be in my area. Don't act like you own the room. So
Come back when your voice cracks.
Yeah, exactly. When you got some hair on your chest, then you can talk to me about Matt's face. But it's just a respect thing. It doesn't matter if we're women or not. You know what I mean? That's just being respectful that, the next team has practice at this time. There's 8 mats in that wrestling room. Like, you can scoot over like a little bit, So, like, if that's
and we're all Team USA. And we're all Team USA. Right?
Exactly. So if that's what they're referencing, then that's just a respect thing, And I understand men's freestyle is very, very good. We have a tough team, but so is our women. People forget we've taken 2nd or 3rd in the world at world championships like multiple times the past couple of years. So we're right there too. And I really think we have a good team this year to, crack Japan. So, it's just respect. But I'll argue about anything if you just want to pick a topic.
No, that's true though, because I mean, hearing that obviously is a bad thing, but at the end of the day, we're all Team USA, and I'll be honest too, like, people kind of forget about it, but when like Julia's asking for continued support, after the men have already wrestled, and obviously they had, like, 2 years ago they won the world championships, which I think will probably end up winning last year's too when all the Russian doping stuff settles. But she asked for continued support, and one of the biggest stars in the history of USA Wrestling is like, "Why are you being so divisive?" And I was just kind of like, "That's kind of crappy."
Oh yeah, the big Twitter fight with JB. And, Julia.
Yeah, and it was like, dude, she just asked for continued support. Like, rep our girls. Like, that's our team. Like, I was having a conversation earlier today with somebody, and they were like, "Oh, what sports do you like?" And I said, "Well, obviously wrestling's number one. I watch some MMA. I watch cycle racing." I said, "But anything with USA." My face paint goes on. I get my flag. I don't care if it's, curling or if it's, I don't care what it is. If it's USA, brother, I am there. Like, I don't care. I'm cheering. And especially if there's the other team's got a crowd. Oh, it's me against the world. And at the World Championships like that. I was at the ESPY Awards when Kale, the senior year, and I showed up at the Kodak Theater, dude. I was draped. Body paint. I was flag holding. Cody Sanderson looked up and I was yelling, and they're like, "Sir, you gotta be quiet or you're gonna be asked to go." And I was like, "I don't give a F." Like, the only real athlete just walked in right now, and none of you introduced him other than the basketball players playing with their balls, and you guys are skipping the one big story here. And he kicked me out, of course, but I remember Cody looking up at me like, "That guy's crazy." But I'm a wrestler, and I'm Team USA, and that's how it goes
for
down.
sure. I thought that. I mean, I didn't read the whole Twitter fight. It was way too long. I don't want to read the whole thread. But
it got crazy. Yeah, I got crazy.
It was stupid. I remember it causing so much drama that summer, and I'm like, guys, we're all Team USA. We're on the same team. We're trying to win the same title. We're not competing against each other. Like, why are we fighting like this? I thought it was so stupid. I don't do drama. So I just was like, whatever. I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I got my title to worry about, right?
Yeah, for real. Like, I got other things to worry about than who said what on Twitter. Like, how old are we? Are we in middle school? Like, seriously.
Yeah, just keep working, right?
For real.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. No, I love it. Like I said, I love my wrestling, but I love my country more than anything. And whoever's repping my country, there we go. Oh, let's ask you this. Because I don't think that ladies necessarily pay enough attention, like high school girls pay enough attention to it, but the Yanni Zane debacle. Do you feel it should be settled, or do you feel they should just do one more match to say, okay, hey, winner take all? Let's just solidify this because we need the best rep possible.
It's hard. It's so hard because I love both of them. They're both awesome dudes. They're both phenomenal at wrestling. I think when you look at it one way, I'm like, for the sake of everything, for the team spot, for the country, for them too, like, let's wrestle out that third match, or even or re-wrestle the second period of the second match, whatever they decide, some crazy thing to do to really let them decide like who should be the world team member. And on one side, I'm like, it'll resolve all these issues if we just wrestle it out. But if you do that, the other side of it is all these issues. Well, is this going to happen all the time now? Anytime someone loses a big match, they're going to want to call lawyers and challenge the call and this and that. You know what I mean? It could open up a can of worms at the same time. So it's just, I think it's really hard to go about it.
Well, just remember though.
Yeah, I'm biased towards the wrestling. I want them to wrestle it out. You know what I mean?
I want to see it again. I want to see it again. I don't care.
Like, and this is it. Like, winner takes all this match, whatever they decide to do. But it's either way, there's going to be issues with it, and it's going to resolve other issues. So I don't know. It should be very, very interesting, though.
I would say, honestly, it's not going to open up a can of worms because you know why? You know when the last time this happened was in wrestling?
I couldn't even tell you. Not since I've been around.
Not like 30 years ago.
Yeah. Like Matt Lindland. Matt Lindland did it.
That one, Matt Lindland, and then Leroy Smith and...
Oh, that was even further. That was before Matt. That was the 84 Olympics.
80s. And they
so it's like...
and they wrestled a part of a match.
Part of the match? Jeez.
The court, and finally they wrestled a part of a match. They started at a certain point, and one guy was down, and I want to say... Who was it? I don't know. It was Leroy Smith and somebody.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it was an Iowa guy. But who was it? Gosh dang it. Lewis. I think it was Randy Lewis.
Yeah, Randy Lewis. It wasn't
Randy
Lewis.
Yeah. So no, that's awesome. So okay, Josh, you had a question about asking Forrest if she would have wrestled in an event if they had it back in the day with her. Because we're doing an event in October. Because we are all about girls wrestling, and we're not a boys channel that occasionally lets the girls share some of the spotlight. We actually just focus on girls only. So go ahead, Josh, hit her with it.
Yeah, so we're doing like a who's number one, but we're not calling it that for copyright things. But we're doing a who's the number one girl in October. Kind of a preseason that we can fly the best girls out. Would you have wrestled in that if you were given the opportunity?
Like when I was in high school?
Yeah.
For sure. I would have loved to. Like when I look at that event now, like when you're in high school, like that's like one of the biggest events ever, you know, like in your world. Like how they have girls only one, but they have girls matches now in who's number one. Like I would have loved to have wrestled in that when I was in high school. I would have thought it was so cool.
But that's the thing. They're only doing one match. You know, they're doing one highlight match.
Yeah, if you guys did a whole event, like I think that'd be super cool to do. You know what you're gonna call it?
Yeah, it's at this event called the Nightmare. So the Nightmare is we have a high school division and then a high school elite division, right? Yeah. So and the top 13 are in the elite. So we're gonna see them. Top 13 will be in the elite. The top 3 in the high school. So let's say you have a freshman that's like badass freshman coming in. I don't believe in just giving somebody a ranking. I believe like let them earn it. So then run through the high school division. If they run the top 3 of the high school division, they'll automatically be put into the elite division. And then they'll be able to make some noise. But in between those finals matches, we're going to put these who's number one matches.
Because USA Wrestling does like a rankings, but it's so like
spotty.
We'll just call it spotty. We'll call it spotty. Like
we'll be nice about it.
Maybe somebody All-American in Oklahoma, maybe somebody All-American in Fargo, but then 3, 4, 5 girls. Like there's girls on the ranking that my daughter's beat when she's not ranked, but it doesn't matter. Like we're trying to get the top, invite the top 2 girls.
I mean, I feel like everyone really knows who the best girls are, regardless of the ranking. Like people know who's the top girls. Right. So, I mean, I think this is an awesome event. I think people would come out for it, and if you hyped it up as much as they do, who's number one, why not? Especially if it's all girls.
Because, Worlds are when? Worlds are in September?
Yeah, the 14th through the 22nd.
So there's a possibility then that False Molanari might show up at the Nightmare. Because it's in California, and who wants to be in Iowa when it's cold? And you can be in Pasadena, California. California.
Real?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I know somebody who can get her into Disneyland too if you want to go there, or I don't know, something.
I mean, if we can help me out with a plane ticket or something, I'll be there. I just need a ticket.
I'm sure we could figure out something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can figure out something, I'm all gung ho to go back to California for even a day. I will be there.
Or maybe Josh, maybe it's like a clinic, and then
good idea.
Hawkeye Wrestling Club's like, oh, it's a work thing. Okay, we got to get her out there, and then she takes home a little bit of pocket money. Like,
I'm
you
with
got
it,
my
man.
number. You got my
No
number.
problem. I
You got my
your
number. I'm
so
all about the girls.
Do the tournament, have the like who's number one thing, and then maybe that's on a Saturday night, Sunday morning clinic with Forrest Molanari.
Oh no. We do the tournaments on Sunday, so we have Saturday weigh-ins. Maybe you go through a workout with Forrest, and then you go right into your weigh-in.
All right, yeah, I'm with that too.
You gotta work a little bit of weight off. You know, people got to support our world champion. World champion.
World champion.
Okay. Yeah. And she just took out the Jap. So bonsai. Let's get after it.
I think that sounds really good for sure.
I think we're on something here. I think we are onto something. Yeah. I mean, how many Cali girls are? I mean, we're number 1 in Final X, number 2 on the world team. I mean, geez, let's go to the bottom. Victoria Anthony. Then we got Forrest.
Final X. Yeah, just looking at
Final X. Just look at Final X. Okay. Then you got Jakara. Okay. Then you got so Dominic. You got Dominic Pears. Let me see. Hang on, I'm trying to go through it in my head.
Oh, Alex Glade at 68.
Glade at 68. Yep. That's already.
Is Olivia Fisk from California?
Yeah, yes, Olivia Fisk is.
Olivia Fisk.
6.
And so is Precious Bell, who wrestled at 76.
Yep, 7.
I think 7 or 8 is what we.
Yeah. You guys came up with. Mallory Velty wrestled Kayla at 62, so that's 8 right there.
8 right there. Dang. California represents,
almost 50% of the final
competitors. Yeah. Man. And don't sleep on us. I hate the fact that we took 2nd at Fargo and was it 4th in the duels, because that's just, we did not send our team. We just did not.
I don't know if they still do this now, but when I went to Fargo, they tried to split up like our good girls on the A and B team, to try to make it California versus California. But other states are getting too good for that kind of stuff. Like, send out your best team, and let other girls get matches.
And smash. Smash. Go unscored on. That was always my thing. And when I used to talk to the women's director or developmental coach, I used to tell them that, stop trying to, put 2 in the finals. Why don't you worry about just smashing everybody? Yeah. I mean,
no one's gonna care if it's California versus California. But if you have one California team that ran through people, that's what people are gonna talk about. So
I mean, they talk about Dake going through the worlds without being scored on. It's like, no, Team California went through the tournament and nobody lost.
Exactly.
They ran it. Because that's the thing. And a lot of California girls might lose in the finals. Comes to duels when it's a team on the line and they step up.
Yeah,
I can think of Audrey Morehouse, Diamond Guilford, all those girls lost the finals, came back, smashed in the duels, beat the person they lost to the day before. It's just what?
Exactly.
So I take it personal. I really do. And I also think too that Fargo is not what it used to be in terms of what it means to the girls on the team, because I feel back when you were in high school, Des was in high school, it meant something. There was
but
when
look at how tough. Look at those girls. Look at the girls that are on the senior circuit now. Those were the girls that were in high school during our time. Look how tough Fargo was during that time. Allie Reagan, I think, is pound for pound one of the best wrestlers in the world. She she never won Fargo. That's how tough Fargo was back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you look at how many times there wasn't 4-timers back then. It was, you were happy to win one. When Hendy won her first one, it was whoa, it was a grind for her to get. And she took 2nd in the U.S. Open the year before, and it was still iffy if she was going to win it. It was what? She went on a run. Her and Jennifer Page being in there. Jennifer Page was a legend because it was she never wrestled the girls. How was she going to do when she wrestled girls?
She's so strong. I've wrestled her in a match, and all she does is a 2-on-1. You cannot get out of that damn 2-on-1. I'm doing 2-on-1 on defense the whole match.
You practically have to coyote arm yourself. You have to literally chew it off so you could get away.
Yeah.
Literally. It's crazy how strong that girl is. And I just remember seeing that redhead just ripping people's arms off and girls looking their hand was caught in an elevator door. Couldn't get that thing away from her. So it was terrible. But yeah, California definitely is deep for sure.
Mhm.
But alrighty, well, we're coming up on an hour of your time, which we know is invaluable. We also see the sun setting on your side of the world, so it's
it's getting dark over
going
here.
dark. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Go over like something you want to bring up? Because we know you're like all over on the podcast everywhere right now. Like suddenly people notice girls wrestling,
I know.
so they all want you on there. But is there something that maybe you forgot to bring up, or they don't bring up, or anything like that?
No, I think you guys hit some good topics. Like it wasn't the typical questions that people always ask, like how'd you start wrestling and how is it here? And I'm just like, it's the same questions, but you guys hit some good areas for sure. I definitely hope I can come back out to California soon and put on a clinic. I think that'd be awesome. My coaches will be cool with it, so I'm all for it.
Mark it down. And hey, if they got a chaperone, we're not gonna be mad about that. Just gonna tell you, I know Perry likes it out here. I mean,
oh yeah,
my wife went to Poly. You could tell them that.
Yeah.
Like we donate money.
I don't think Perry would complain about a trip to California.
Yeah, I just like try to tell people. I'm like, dude, do you really want to go to Super 32 in the South when you could come to Cali in October and literally like wear shorts and not have to worry about making weight because the weather's still 80 something degrees?
Yeah, definitely.
And dry heat. Like, come on now. Beautiful people, good Mexican food. Oh, if you come to the Nightmare, I'm taking you to Salsa and Beer. You are going to love it. I'm telling you right now, Takara Montgomery loves it. I think I took Axel Molina there. Like, dude, everybody loves Salsa and Beer. You're gonna love it. Trust me, that's the best Mexican food, hands down.
Plan it,
and
for
Des will plan it. So, all right, awesome. Well, thank you for your time. We know you're busy. We know you have a million of these. So, and I thank you, Josh, because I know we do our podcast at night usually, and Josh was like, I'm on. No problem. He always drops. Josh has literally done the podcast from his work truck on his phone. Like he's literally done it.
That's commitment right there. I appreciate that, man.
Dude,
gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm telling you, like he gets it done. I couldn't ask for a better co-host, seriously, because I'm just sweating it out. I've done it as a homeless man, like literally, like in the winter.
In the winter, he's got like 3 jackets on and a blanket, like shivering, like. And then in the summer, he's sweating. I'm like a fat chick right now,
dude. Right down and like wanting cake right now. I'm just like, so good. But no, like I have a 4-year-old and she's a monster. Like she's like rock climbs, does kickboxing. Like she's a monster.
Right.
I can't do it in the house because she'll be like, Dad, and just like jump on my lap, and it'll be a nightmare. But I have to do it outside. So yeah, they were like, "What's wrong?" Almost like he's at a homeless encampment in California right now, like freezing outside with like a trash can full of trash burning up. But anyhow, alrighty, enough of that. Thank you so much for your time. We super appreciate it. And you know what? Know that wherever you are in the world, you got 2 people here in California that are going nuts for you right now. Because I was up 2 a.m., 1 a.m. California time. Well, I don't sleep. Josh will tell you I don't sleep. But I was watching every one of your Dogu matches. I'm like, yes, if I got to pay, I'll pay and support my team. So,
I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for having me, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Oh,
thanks, Forrest.
Wait, real quick, before we let you go, is there a Venmo or something somebody should hit you at if maybe they want to help out the cause? I know being out there, being an athlete, you don't get paid anything. If anybody wants to donate, help out a girl who's repping not just Cali, but our country. Hey, $5 $5 times the 100 people who watch this. Hey, $500 goes a long way. So,
big time, man. My Venmo is at Forrest, aka Snowflake. Any support helps. If people want to donate, that'd be awesome.
Cool. We'll put that in the show notes too. Almost.
Yeah, at Forrest, aka Snowflake. No dots, no lowercase anything, just at Forrest.
The F is uppercase and the S is uppercase on Snowflake. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Alrighty, we'll put that in. Do me a favor, text it to me too, just so I can make sure I do it right.
I will.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Forrest. Everybody, make sure you like this, give her a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Make her the most watched podcast episode. So let's keep moving forward. All right, go Team USA.
See you guys. Thank you.
Forrest.